The Denver Broncos will look to break a streak tonight in Kansas City. They've lost 15 straight games against the Chiefs. That is tied for the longest active losing streak in any head-to-head matchup in the NFL. And to have any chance tonight, we would assume Russell Wilson's going to have to play a great game. There's been so much talk about how well he's playing or isn't. Danny, show us the tape.
Yeah, the long ball is back for Russell Wilson. That's what he was notorious for in many ways in Seattle, and it's very much so back with Marvin Mims. So this is Marvin Mims, their rookie wide receiver out of Oklahoma, okay? I'm just going to play it for everybody at home because when I talk about the long ball, it's Russell's ability to push the ball downfield to create not only big plays but touchdown plays early in the season, second week. So it starts with this Sean Payton, 12 personnel. We have one back, two tight ends on the field. That's a staple of Sean Payton. Now the second thing is this, the commitment to protection. They're going to pull the backside guard, okay? But what they're going to do is do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys are going to be in protection.
Wow.
They're saying, Russell, we're going to give you the opportunity to push the ball downfield with that 12 personnel play action protection. Smart because this. All they're going to do is this, Greeny. They're going to take Cortland Sutton at the bottom of the screen, and they're going to run him on an in and then out. They're trying to get this defensive back to stay low. Now I've created all this space for speed, and then they're going to take Marvin Mims, they're going to push him vertical, and they're going to run what we call a field post. A normal post goes to the middle of the goal post. A field post is essentially a post where we're going to bring you all the way across the field. Now, this is why the protection matters the most. Look at this pocket for Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has this huge space where he can now work. He's got a really good job of vision down to the bottom because you want to make sure that that guy, corner-wise, stays low, and then you trust Marvin Mims to go win on the route as the safety plays outside leverage. Russell goes hitch, launches the football from the 37-yard line all the way down to the opposite 15, touchdown. That's another reason why this is allowing this offense to play and Russell Wilson to play well. Now, 2 weeks ago, Marvin Mims, bottom of the screen as the vertical receiver. You're going to get Tampa 2, right? This middle linebacker is going to run through. There's a safety right here that's playing half of the field. We're going to do the 2-on-1 ball. I'm going to take a seam, and then I'm going to take a vertical. We want a 2-on-1 means we have two guys going vertical. Russell Wilson, I need you to manipulate that safety with your eyes. Russell does a fantastic job. Again, this is what he's notorious for. He's staring that safety to take that inside receiver. And then he's going to say, 1, 2, I've got 6 men in protection, and I'm going to throw this outside go ball. That's called that what? Turkey hole, honey hole, where it's in between the safety and the corner. Perfect placement for Russell Wilson, again, to Marvin Mims for big plays. So we want Russell Wilson to be somewhat who he was in Seattle. Sean Payton is very much so using Marvin Mims in that way to allow Russell to drive and throw the football downfield for explosive plays. To beat Kansas City, they need at least 2 of those tonight.
That's so extraordinarily well done. You're seeing that. And look, the numbers would suggest that Russell Wilson, just absent anything else, is having a great season because we all say Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the entire sport. I want to go back to something I said to you on Monday because it got posted and everyone made a big deal out of it. I said that Russell Wilson doesn't look comfortable to me. He still throws the best deep ball or one of the best deep balls of anyone in the NFL.
Sure.
But what we were talking about, what I meant was Sean Payton runs this offense that we saw for all these years in New Orleans. 1, 2, get it out. 1, 2, get it out. That's not what it looks like to me. It looks to me like when they're trying to run that stuff, Russell looks very uncomfortable, and that's what I meant.
Yeah, Russell's not there yet when it comes to the Drew Brees, almost like a metronome, like boom, 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 like ball out, ball out, ball out.
That's
not,
what I mean.
That's not who Russell has been. I honestly don't think that's who Russell is going to be. And so Sean is very much so trying to figure out, like, okay, I want that high completion percentage efficient offense. Yep. I don't necessarily have the quarterback that's going to do that right now. So you're trying to make, he's still trying to figure out who Russell Wilson is as a player right now too. So I honestly believe, Greeny, and I know what you meant, like, he's playing exponentially better this year than he was last year.
Fair. That's 100% right. And so whatever, if I think I didn't say what I meant to say the way I meant to say it. So that's what it was. It doesn't look like a smooth rhythm offense. Their defense is so bad it may not make any difference. But earlier this morning, I wanted to give the two of you in particular a chance to get back
go to marriage counseling,
into this conversation. Yes, the bishop and the first lady. What is reasonable to be expecting from Russell Wilson right now on a team that is struggling the way this is? How much of the blame is it fair to put on Russell Wilson? Kmart.
It's hard because, like we were talking about, the defense is so bad. I think when you look at these quarterbacks, and we got loud and we yelled and we like have fun and stuff, but the reality is the life of their contracts, however long each individual guy is with their team, Russell in Denver, Dak in Dallas, they were paid or brought to their teams to win a Super Bowl. That's the expectation, particularly with Russ. So if he is there, and if they feel like internally, if they feel like the reason we are not good is because of our defense, Russ and Sean have a whole season to figure it out, then stay status quo. But if there is any doubt from Sean Payton or anybody internally that you're looking at Russ and you're looking at last year and you're looking at it now and you're like, this man, I don't know, they have a decision to make. And I think that is what we're judging Russell on. It's not just the 2023, the injuries, the defense. It's, do we feel like we have a guy who can still win us a Super Bowl? And I don't know if I don't know if he can.
I think the question is Russell Wilson and Sean Payton even compatible, to be honest with you? Because Sean Payton has been used to running things a certain way his whole career as a play caller. And Dan, you pointed out, Russell Wilson has been used to playing quarterback a certain way.
Yes.
Are they even compatible? Now, on top of that, you have a historically bad defense. What are the realistic expectations for Russell Wilson as it relates to the Denver Broncos and quote unquote being a Super Bowl team? I think this thing is like they are so far from that right now. We don't even know if the quarterback is going to be the long-term solution in Denver.
And that's a good question or a good thing that you brought up, Wood, because Dan, I asked you, if the Denver Broncos are sitting in a situation where they have a top 5 pick and we know what this quarterback draft in 2024 looks like, do they take that guy that Sean Payton believes can run the system that he wants to run?
Yeah, that's a great question. If Russell Wilson continues to play the way that Russell Wilson has for the first 5 weeks, I do not believe that they do and or should move on from Russell Wilson. I think that Russell Wilson is on track for pushing 40 touchdowns and 4,500 plus yards without a number one, like, unquestioned receiver. Jerry Jeudy has missed some time. Cortland Sutton hasn't been who we thought he was going to be. The offensive line is good. So I do think it's a great question because it's, like, worth conversation. But I think if you're the Denver Broncos, and to Kimberly's point, it is totally fair. I agree with it. Yeah. What we gave up to go get him, I don't think you move on from it if he continues to play this way.
The fact that Harry's even asking that question.
Yeah,
that to me is part of the conversation, that there's even any doubt after we gave up what we gave up, that we would think, looking at our record, if the Denver Broncos are at a point where they could have a high pick, should they? And it's worthy of a discussion. That's not where they should be, given what they gave up.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask this question. We always talk about coaching coaching being able to adapt to your personnel.
Yes.
So why aren't we asking the same question about Sean Payton adapting to what you have at the quarterback position? We all know, we've seen Russell Wilson has never played the quarterback position like Drew Brees. No. That has never been his thing. Right. So, and you knew this, Sean Payton, you knew this going in. So why aren't you adapting your playbook to the skill set of Russell Wilson to get the most out of Russell Wilson in this particular situation?
I think that Sean Payton is in the world. You know this. Yeah. There's no way to play football consistently in the NFL offensively without some form of efficiency.
Correct.
Like we consider and say, like, he's never been Drew Brees, but you're trying to get him to, like, give me 5 4-yard completions a game just because I'm calling them. So Russell has to oblige and get that out as well. So I don't know if Sean Payton's not doing a good enough job with that. I think he is. It's just trying to, you're not trying to get Russell Wilson to be 100% of Drew Brees, but can I get him in that regard to be like 70 or 80%? And I think that's kind of where, but again, he's playing really good football. This is not a team in conversation because of their offense.
Harry, of their next 4 games, they play Kansas City twice and Buffalo. So, I mean, we were looking at a situation here where the Chiefs the Broncos are very likely to be something like 2-7. Then what happens?
Then what happens, Bishop?
Again, you got to start. Listen, I don't know why are you trying to keep trying to bring smoke my way. Like I'm not gonna bring smoke right now.
I'm rolling out of this. I
Don't want no part of that, Greeny.
Thank God I didn't get that. I didn't get hit with that.
We're going to need some real therapy after this show.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
the First Lady and the Bishop. Anyone here, right, raise your hands. Anyone think Denver wins tonight in Kansas City? I mean, obviously not, right? I mean, we'll see. Taylor Swift, I have a feeling we'll see a lot of her in the second half on Amazon tonight.